to be here again. It feels like a very long time without daily live shows. So welcome back. Thank you so very much for your kind words, requests, and comments, and all the good positive stuff. Yes, we are going to talk about some worldly topics as you guys have requested. I received some very interesting ideas and requests to talk at least once or twice a week about certain things that are going on in the world, or certain things that are really worth of our attention, certain things that are happening, and something can be learned from them. Hello, John. Good to see you. Welcome. Some I don't really watch a lot of news, but there are some things that are going on that simply should not be ignored. And tonight, I'm really, truly, in my heart, want to talk about the devastating case of Gabby Petito. I will just share in short. You can look it up. I saw it on the Fox News. Usually, I do not follow cases like that. I can't. I guess maybe you can relate due to certain sensitivity. It's really difficult to follow up shows or cases like this, but something just I was just drawn to learn about the story. So in short, case of Gabby Petito. So this young 22-year-old new YouTube new YouTuber, and a very lovely, kind of classic, sweet girl next door, still basically a child, 22-year-old girl, goes on a long trip across the country. Oh my gosh, Verdell, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yes. So they going on a trip, have fun. I believe they opened a YouTube channel and they were filming everything. They going on a trip, going to Montana, going to or Wyoming, mountains, just enjoying, exploring something that you would never have a second thought. What a beautiful time when you're young and free. Go and explore and possibly make a great YouTube channel. All would be well if things did not turn the way they turned in the end of their trip. So after, I don't remember, is a week or two, her quote unquote boyfriend slash fiance comes back in her vehicle back to, I believe, his parents' home without her. Guys, correct me if I'm off on dates, but I believe they left sometime in August, and he comes back home without her. Imagine that outcome. You know right away that something is very, very wrong. Imagine even going with a friend, imagine even going with a friend or acquaintance or a group, and everybody is home and you're not. But in this case, going out with, say, driving out, they were on the road for 4 months. I thought they were only left in August. So guys, don't quote me on exact dates or chronology of this. My video is about something different. So you're welcome. They have so much information on this, but something just caught my attention and my heart, seeing this little sweet girl just having fun, supposedly, with her boyfriend, and running around making all kinds of social media posts. They kind of show all this on the news, and then it all turns into this absolutely devastating case when, once again, so long story short, her boyfriend slash fiance, we'll talk about that part too, comes home without no information about her. He keeps silence, his parents keep silence, and basically long story short, nobody knows where she is. And what shocks me the most here is that she has been missing officially for 18 days. And what shocks me the most, that police did not just broke the damn door in his house or his parents' house to check what the hell is going on. I don't know, maybe that's just me, being from Ukraine, like we call it, doing things the Russian way. There is nothing in the world that would stop, from where I'm from, including myself, a parent from breaking the damn door if my child did not come back from a trip. I just really, there is nothing that a parent wouldn't do. So I don't, again, I'm not an expert. I don't have a law degree, especially in the United States. But there is something so awkward that they would not issue a warrant or just simply a checkup when there are two pairs of parents on the side of Gabby that absolutely could not find, we call it could not find the fifth corner, right? In Russia, in Ukraine, we have this saying, I was feeling so horrible that I could not find a fifth corner. It means that every minute feels like a century, because you cannot eat, you cannot breathe, you just don't understand what happened to your child. And so today, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, but today is 18th day since she disappeared, and they finally opened the door in his house. He is, and everybody is reporting that he is missing. What is going on in the world? Why people are lying? Even those sources that you would respect, they are lying as well. Why nobody can tell the truth? He's not missing. He is escaping. He's probably in Mexico right now. So this is just chronological, not very accurate, but chronological description, in case if you don't follow, because I have sometimes days and weeks and months when I do not watch anything. So anyway, long story short, looking at those clips, imagining, the nightmare parents are going through. So she basically have her biological mom and her stepdad, and then she has her biological dad and her stepmom. And most impressive is her stepfather. He seemed to be, Verdell, tell me if I am if I'm on it correctly. He seemed to be, I watched a few episodes, he seemed to be everywhere. He's been to Wyoming, he's on the road, he relentlessly trying to find her while keeping composure. And it looks to me like he probably raised her a big, huge chunk of her life, because he holding his composure, but I could feel incredible pain and his effort to find her. So you might think, why would I bring, this is not a news channel, why would I bring something like this to discuss? But I want to tell you something, and this is the question that we all should ask. Was it possible to prevent this situation? Or just in general, could situations like this be prevented? I'm gonna read some of your comments and we're gonna talk about this, because truly, yeah, you should watch it. I'm not cannot really show, or it's better one time to see than to hear it, because when you see, when I saw the thumbnail of the story, just getting drawn, you see like a perfectly sweet child, basically enjoying life, and then disappearing in such a peculiar circumstance, and you just know it's wrong. Nobody ever would leave somebody like that, even if you decide to break up, even if you have a fight, you have to be a particular kind of person. You have to be one of those people with extreme disorders, because you had a fight with somebody or disagreement, which looks like they had some of those, because at some point there was police involved and they had some conflicts. But it's still, I mean, you bring somebody where you took them, you give them their car back, and you go. I mean, 9 out of 10 people, or maybe, I don't know, 99 out of 100 would say, okay, this is not working out, we are wrong for each other, I'm gonna, bring you back home, we are done. And some of us, many of us have been in a situation when things just go south. Let's be real, we all have situations when we thought things were great, and they were not. All of us at least have been into one or two like devastating fights. It's just only being a human. But most people will have common sense and would not leave somebody to die. So you have all these questions in your head. Did he hurt her physically and just left her there to die, so she cannot come and tell on him? And technically he didn't kill her. I'm just saying my thoughts, because I know that is, unfortunately, I don't have this, much of light feeling about, no light or hopeful feelings about it, because nobody leaves somebody in the middle of nowhere and comes back with good intentions, or in a situation with some logical or loyal normal outcomes. That is wrong. And especially, I understand we all have emotions, but what most people, 99% of people, I would say, probably would do is they would call the police, they would call relatives and say, hey, we had a fight, and she's there, I made a mistake, I'm gonna go get her. Like, you do something that human would do, right? There is very slim chances, there is such a tiny, of course everybody is hoping, but the chances of finding her and finding her alive are slim to none at this point. And again, I do not understand why the police should wait 18 days. They making all this, devastation about, wear mask, be safe, do this, do that. Oh, you're not safe, you don't care about people. But when it comes to human life, and such a unbelievable suspicious situation that can definitely end in no good result, they just feel like, oh, we have to follow the law, and we have to be accurate. We're gonna wait 3 weeks. Anybody can die in 18 days, even if she'll be fine without water and food. So I don't know, maybe I don't understand American law, so maybe somebody could explain me. Yes. Oh my goodness, John. Yeah, maybe somebody can explain me, but I'm entirely wrong. But I can tell you, from my Ukrainian perspective or from my Russian perspective, we don't wait for permission from the cops. We don't do none of this stuff. If you messing with our child, if you doing something like that, your door coming off the hooks. We removing your door and we are in that house, and we grabbing you like this, and you ask and you answer the question, where is that child, what happened? This is just, it doesn't, I cannot imagine, and I hope that things will clear and more evidence will come, and I truly hope that people will be held responsible. And I would be the last person to blame police. I know how hard they work, how dangerous their job is. So by no meaning I don't particularly blame or try to, but I'm just trying to understand, like, what are the laws, how this works. Once again, if you don't know if your child is missing, and there was only one witness where your child was, there is no other option. You have to speak up. And I again, that I wish somebody would explain me this, because I don't fully understand how this works. But yeah, let me read some. Thank you so much, guys, for commenting. And this is not such an exciting topic for Friday or Saturday evening, but I was like, I have so much going on in my own life right now, but it was on my heart all day today and yesterday. I was just thinking how those parents must be feeling, how they go to bed tonight like not knowing where their daughter is, like, and how the parents of this crook go and look at themselves, look at each other, look at the mirror, and just being fine with doing, that's another thing. If your child, your son or your daughter is doing wrong, you can still love them, but you stand for the right. If your child is committing a crime, this is a crime. Withholding information in this situation is already a crime. So if your child committing a crime, or you're young, even if your child is a young adult, he committing a crime, you cannot be on their side if you know this is wrong. If you know this is wrong, you cannot pretend that, oh, we're just gonna, you you cannot always be responsible, especially when your child is over 18 years old. But when you know it's wrong, I'm sure that they know everything as well. Yes. So how do you go to bed at night? How do you are a parent yourself, how can you do such a thing? I'm just so speechless about these guys. I don't know. I was out all day, guys. I really do not know. Watched today something. I watched a few episodes, short ones in the early afternoon. So I don't know. Again, is it, these are my assumptions, and I don't know. Maybe there was somebody I mean, we'll never know. So if he disappears, we'll never know. But I mean, it's really hard to say and what happened exactly, but I'm really making this video, yeah, to just share some human, empathy and pain, because I'm sure everybody feels this way. But also I want to talk about, in the second part of the video, how do we prevent situations like this, right? How do we prevent situations like this or similar to this one? But before I do that, I want to thank you. Yeah, he's doing what the lawyer told him to do, but what happened to humanity? What happened? I mean, I tell you what, there is no loss when human being life is involved. Yeah, so I don't know latest updates. I will stay away from that. Yes, it doesn't look like, it's not very promising. Vordella says, saying, shame on the police. Fiance should have been detained or at least given a travel ban. Yes, I would never understand this. I understand if it's under 24 hours. I think you can only call a person missing if it's more than 24 hours. But in this situation, even under 24 hours, you need to inform everybody. And right at the end of 24 hours, you know, have him held accountable as he's the only one witness. I just don't understand what's going on. Phew. No matter what happened, he would be so much better off if he would call and say the truth, whether he was involved, which I really think, if he would not be involved, here is the thing, he would not be involved, and that was an accident or something like that, he would call, right? If you did not do something, you're not worried about, you know, you're not worried about too much. They have ways to see if the person says the truth, so yeah, you know that situation in life when you somebody tell you, oh, you did this, and you know you didn't do something. um you're not gonna be you're not gonna be nervous, you're not gonna be freaking out. You're gonna be very calm. You may be annoyed, but you're gonna be very calm, and you're gonna call, you're gonna tell the story. I mean, they also have a way of figuring things out. They have body language expert and all of that stuff, right? Yeah, by the way, I hope that our um incredible one of my favorite channel, I hope that the body language guy will make the video on the body language from the cam. I know he's doing a lot of his videos are very professional and highly edited, but I hope he makes a body cam um expertise, specifically on body language. That would be incredible. um I saw another channel, I have not watched it, made a body cam analysis. That could be very interesting, because she looks like she's at a breaking point, and he appeared very distant and almost like disconnected. So that's what I caught in just a few seconds of watching that. I don't believe that she did something to herself. If that would be the case, he would be on the phone calling his family, calling police. When the accident happens like this, it's a horrific thing to witness. I can totally understand that. Unfortunately, I can understand it better than many people. You do everything a human do. You're trying to save them, you're trying to call somebody, you call everybody under the sun. You're not thinking about, oh, they may think it's me. You don't have those thoughts. When somebody is dying next to you, or somebody is on the verge of a suicide, you call absolutely everybody. One thing you do not do when you care genuinely, you do not hide. You do not hide. You, even if there is no hope, you call everybody. Guys, it doesn't make absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat, Matt. You're always supporting my shows. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, we are talking about not so fun topic, but I'm hoping to get a little bit further. I want to talk about what can be done to prevent, to the great extent, situations like that. Um, oh yeah, he knows for sure he didn't do enough. Well, that's the very least. Probably he helped. You know what I mean? On the body cam, he seems to be charming the police and playing them for fools. Yes, yes, he seemed to be very, like, he is cool, he's playing cool, he's playing like, oh, everything is fine. Yes, but this is also the thing about narcissists or people who find your strings. They will pull your strings, and you literally breaking if you guys can understand what I mean. I've been maybe in my entire life, I probably been maybe in two or three, I mean, I would say in the span of 10 years, I may have been in the two, maybe several cases when somebody would pull my string so much that I am would be on the verge of insanity. I know how that feels, like a little touch, a little bit more, and you can just completely break. And she was just breaking in tears there. It was not the fake tears, she was literally breaking. We're talking about case of Gabby Petito. So I am not very good of retelling the case in detail, so I would really suggest to watch Fox or any other news outlet and look at that. Phew. She's a 22-year-old girl that decided to travel with her boyfriend, which we're gonna talk about it, and take a trip around the country and enjoy some nature and hiking, which is essentially, it's a beautiful, it could have been a beautiful thing. Yes. Um, yes. Well, thank you. Let's see. I'm gonna read some. Yeah, I mean, we can only guess. Like the emotional parts of it, guys, we can only guess. But anybody who hides, agree with us or disagree if you do not agree. And if something like this would happen to your friend, your neighbor, a stranger that walks next to you, would something horrific like this happens, you would not be thinking how to hide and keep silence ever. You would not even think about anything, any problems. You would think about what would happen if you do not call everybody around, you know? You would do everything under the sun. You would be rushing, you would be calling again. Like, I hate to repeat myself all the time, but it's impossible. And I'm not even talking about somebody close to you, somebody you love, but even a stranger. If you see a stranger trying to suicide, you would try to do anything to stop them. You know, if you see somebody dying or having a heart attack, you would turn into a doctor. You would call everything and everybody. You would do everything to save the person, unless you're a psychopath or sociopath or some insane individual and have no feelings. Yes, David is saying, Veronica, thank you for covering that. Well, thank you, David. So yeah, we should talk sometimes about these situations, at least once in a while. I have David Braxton asking me about another case, but I didn't have a chance to watch that one yet. Yeah, I don't, honestly, I do not believe in no suicide here. Yes, hello there in Ukraine from Dallas. Actually, not in Ukraine, I'm in United States. I'm from Ukraine. So welcome. You probably are new, but welcome, Texas. This case is so crazy. We really need answers. They should not have let this guy get away. He's dangerous. Exactly. I could not imagine once again any other circumstance that we just like, day after day, week after week. Well, yeah, it's private property. We can't knock on a door. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, she has an OCD, but listen, everybody has something, okay? So it's not really, yes. The good thing that she was posting things and she was making social media updates, so it gives a little bit of clue, and they have some clues from that. But also that body cam recording is incredible. I'm actually going to watch it with the analyzing of body language experts. I really hope that Jesus from body language guy would make and his observation of it. It's not looking right there. I'm not a body language expert yet, at least not on that level of FBI, but I can tell you he is trying to play them fool. He is trying to show them this guy Brian, I think his name is, on the camera, but she is completely, how somebody pulling your strings and you're on the verge of just hysteria, and you feel like you're losing your mind, and then they call and they point fingers at you and say, well, she has OCD, she's crazy, look at her. But you pulled every string. The person who loves you, they know your weak spots, and they would actually stop, even if they're doing the right thing, even if they are right and you're wrong. When they see you're shaking and you're in tears, they would literally stop. Okay, I should read some of your comments. Yeah, well, again, we're not gonna make guesses what happened. It was their relationship. I just want to know what in the world had happened. How come they let it slide, and also most of all, where did he left her? And the thing in this case, we may never know it. Yeah, this guy is out there near someone else's daughter now. He should have been detained immediately, exactly, and watched carefully until case is solved. Exactly, Elizabeth. It's like every minute is a difference between life and death. Yes, John is saying Agree, Veronica. We would be trying to help in all ways, unless maybe we are hiding something. Exactly. Exactly. It's impossible. We are human beings. We have huge response. You know, we are watching a movie and we are in tears. And this has happened right next to you. We forgive our enemies sometimes. You know, sometimes you have a bad relationship with your family member and they get sick and you just like, you know what, that sickness unites the entire family, even though you had some bad, you know, moments with them. We are human beings. We are not cold-blooded like that. So I want to read some more comments. Verdal, and you know, Verdal, you said you live somewhere very close to them. Wow. Verdal says, yes, the person who loves you isn't going to break you down ever. They would stop even if they're 100% right. I couldn't imagine arguing so loud with my fiancé that someone has to call the police. Yes, I understand. But I just want to say, sometimes it happens. Even with people who love each other, sometimes we get on each other's nerves. And it is a major red flag. Things have to be solved. But I'm just saying, it can happen sometime. Hopefully, when we grow and evolve, it doesn't happen, you know. But maybe once or twice it happens to almost anybody. And that's the devastating experience. His parents are culpable here since he's the only person of interest. The authorities can stop him from leaving the country. I think some laws are going to be changed after this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's probably fled and, you know, they let him escape for some reason. There is no way was ready to get married. Yeah, they were not even ready to take such a trip. She dated him for a year, but didn't have enough. They didn't have enough maturity. Yes, and you bring me right to the point that I want to make, and this is mainly the reason why I'm making this video. After 32 minutes, I want to just share kind of the why I'm bringing this up. You know, how could her parents, you know, her authorities in her life, you know, her, you know, both of her fathers, so to speak, her mother, could they have done something different? Not to blame them, not to, you know, hurt anybody or judge them, by no means, absolutely not. But was there something that could have been done differently? That stories and situations like that, I actually have a light with me, that stories and situations like that would not happen or would have less a chance. You know, one of them is, you know, I wonder how well her father and her biological father and her stepfather, how well did they really know that guy? You know, like, this is one of the reasons why I don't believe in boyfriends. You know, I don't believe that somebody has the entitlement to, you know, take your daughter. You know, you spend years, you know, of your life investing in your child, especially she is so young. You know, that would be different. That would be a 45-year-old woman. It would be a bit different. But somebody who, you know, you have a father who invested, you know, it sounds like her stepfather was, I mean, it looks like, it appears to me that her stepfather was invested in her more than her biological dad, because her stepfather is everywhere looking for her, and just seeing his expression, and just like, you can tell he raised her, and probably her biological father was present, I mean, as well. But anyhow, to me personally, I don't believe that it's possible to prevent anything 100%. But okay, let's get to it. Again, continuing the thought, I don't believe that father should not properly vet a guy. Just because, you know, you like my daughter, It doesn't give you, you don't get a right to, you're not qualified. You have to be, if I would be, and I think this is what fathers should demand, you have to be qualified to be with the young woman, to take her on trip, to you know, every father should teach their daughter to never live with a man. I don't know if they ever lived together. I'm not sure, but they definitely. Verdell says, or somebody else, that she was. They were out for several months, like 4 months together. So this is pretty much living together, but in the car. You know, you don't just reap the benefits of, being. This is just my traditional background, and the way I see things. You don't just get entitled to be, yeah, she may have been a rebel, but this is why you teach your child, you ingrain in your daughter your value. You ingrain it in your brain that she is valuable, her presence. And if she were to give herself to a man, that man needs to earn it. I can guarantee you that that 23-year-old didn't earn anything. Probably was trying to make money, from that relationship, making the very popular YouTube channel. But that is something, if fathers, I feel like in our society, it's like, yeah, freedom, girls, hot girl summer, and, all this BS. But when you have such a young girl, she doesn't have life experience. Father does, so is mother. And I do believe that you need to qualify for father approval. And you do not, and some people say, oh, well, this is like 15th century, what you're talking about. No, it's not. Like having a boyfriend, I mean, who is boyfriend? Like, what does he do? Does he go to work every day to, a lot of men feel like they have some rights over you. Like they feel, they claiming their rights, a lot of guys, a lot of men right now, if they are dating somebody, they feel like, oh, they are entitled. Oh, she's my girlfriend. I'm entitled to her time. I'm entitled living with her. No, you are entitled to nothing. Unless you wake up every day, you go to work, and you bring those resources to support that woman, to take care of her, you put your life on the line. Sometimes when you work, you put your health. Unless you're doing all of that, you have no vote, or no voice, or no entitlement to be with a woman. I mean, I'm just telling you, and I know everybody, most people will say, oh wow, nobody lives like that. But you know what, if people would actually live like that, there would be a lot less, unwanted pregnancies and abusive boyfriends, and men who use women for money and all of that. American women may, in general, may think certain way about this, but my question is, what happened to fathers? Why fathers do not put their foot down just because you are cute? According to the daughter, right? I don't know you. I don't trust you. I don't think that my daughter should be living with you. I don't think that she should be traveling with you. Again, it's a little bit different when we're talking about mature people. Women who maybe already been, like women who have their own experience already. But she's technically still a child. They proved now that until 25 years old, you're still growing. Your brain actually grown your entire life, unless you decide not to. But, not to invest in it. But your body, your organs, everything grows to 25. Yeah, they had started a YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, Lance, did you send me something? Thank you so much. Thank you. And again, I'm sorry for coming with such a devastating topic on Saturday night, but I just it was on my heart, and it just really really hurts. And I was just thinking about prevention, like what could have been done differently. Another thing is the age. I'm gonna get to it in a second. Thank you so much, Lance. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Appreciate the super chat. And Lance is saying you are welcome as always, my drug. Thank you. I truly appreciate, especially on this sad, very sad discussion, but needed to be held. So, another thing, in a proper family, father and mother should tell their daughters that the man you are going to school with, yes, you communicate, you have fun, but these are not the men for marriage. The man who should be at least a little bit more mature, a little bit, one of you should be a little bit more responsible. So if you have to have at least 5 to 10, 5, 7, 8, 10 years of difference. Why? Because the man who is back in development, women develop faster, girls develop much faster than men, physically and mentally. The man who is behind, who is more child than you are, will not be able to protect you. He will not be able to take some decisions. He will not be able to provide for you, most likely. He's not looking at life seriously. You spending your precious time on a guy that is not, it's not beneficial for you, because women's biological clock and our time is precious. We are developing differently. Of course, there are exceptions, but we are talking about the real situation, okay? Of course, there are exceptions, but they only prove the overall rule. So, yeah, I mean, when I see, like, you basically trusted, and again, I'm not blaming his parents. His parents are amazing. I mean, her parents are amazing. They are just, you can tell how much they love her. But you in general do not trust your child with another child to take care of them. How much sense does that make? Once again, his parents are crooks because he done wrong and they kept the silence. I'm talking about her parents. So yeah, you just trusted a child. Like when your children are tiny, little, right? Like they're toddlers. You do not ask another toddler to watch your toddlers, right? We do not hope, oh hey, I have a babysitter, oh great, we are going out tonight, yes, we are going out tonight. Oh, you invited another toddler to watch our toddlers? Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. They're gonna have a company, they're gonna have fun, but no. I think this is a major problem that in America, in Western society, we're teaching that we are equal. We are not. Men and women, girls and boys are not equal. And then we're equal in our rights in terms of law, but we are not equal at all. We are not equal whatsoever. Girls are developing a lot faster. I mean, girls are maturing a lot faster. I remember being in what grade I was. I mean, kind of like a high school. I think I was 15 or 16. I've already looked like, if I wanted to get married, I could. Of course, you could tell that, oh my God. Get out of here. Oh my God, guys. Help. Help. Help, 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 help. We don't need no mosquitoes here. So I was developed to actually already to get married and have a child, even here. I mean, maybe not all the way, but boys were this tall, many of them, and they were absolute children. I remember that even it was even weird then, when you in high school, dating. I mean, yes, of course, dating, but not dating like in America. You just go out and chocolates and flowers, but you don't, you don't go further than that. So even then it felt awkward. I felt like, ooh, oh, our boys are so unattractive. And they were not unattractive. They were just too little. They were undeveloped. And not only physically, but also in terms of maturity, in terms of responsibility, if in terms of being accountable, understanding what you're doing. John is laughing. Yeah. I was like, man, we didn't get lucky in this class with boys. I was like, ew, ew. And I was looking at boys who were like maybe, 20, 25. I found them, I found some, some authority, some presence. We always, as women, as girls, or, young women, young adult, we are looking up. We want to be able to look up to a man. We want to know that our man is protecting us. Not if we're getting attacked, right? If we are, I'm sorry guys, I have to hold my, I don't know why it's falling down as usually, but we have to we have to make sure that we're gonna be protected, that he's maturely enough, that he will that he will he won't run off, when somebody is coming to you, coming after you. So he won't leave you. Do you understand that a lot of, yes, life is not perfect. Sometimes we get emotional and we get into fights, but do you guys, realize that most of us, mature people, we all, I had some situations that I'm not proud of, that I lost my cool, but I would never, leave somebody, on the rain or at the beach, take their car. This is like, and this is why you need to be mature. Sometimes you want to punish somebody because of the conflict you have, but when you're a mature person, you would, quote unquote, punish them by maybe not talking to them or breaking up with them, but you're not gonna leave them under pouring rain or I think John wrote like -10 degrees. You're not gonna do that. You understand the difference between you mentally want to distance with them, you don't want to deal with them anymore, for example, or you want them to apologize, and the difference between punishing them with actually hurting them and put their life in danger. But sometimes kids who are younger, they do not understand. Like today I was stopping on a traffic light, and this guy, it was a green light, and this guy was still on his phone. I had to beep at him because he probably was, he looked like he was about 16 years old. He was on his phone. So you need to have certain level of maturity. And I think, it's really hard to enforce rules to somebody who is 22, even to somebody who is 19, right? But what people and in what parents and fathers and mothers are missing out is giving those messages to their daughters as they grow, letting your daughter know, that she is special, she not special in a narcissistic way, but that she's loved, that she deserves respect, that she treat her to teach others with respect, realizing that she's valuable, that she's not open for any guys that holler at her because she has such a low self-esteem and she never got love in her life, that she gonna jump and run after any guy who would holler at her. And the best way to show it is to be that kind of father, to be that kind of father, and then not being shy when she starting to get in her teens, not being shy to talk about her. When you have the trust and your daughter will open up, if she trusts you, she will open up. And if she's dating, like going out with a guy and he mistreats her, when she is close to you, she will tell her, she will say, Dad, is it normal that he tell me these things? Because verbal abuse and manipulation is real too. And I can guarantee you, if they would know more about their relationship, they probably were bigger red flags than anybody could ever imagine. But in the United States, it's often a small talk. Hey, how are you? Are you guys having fun? Yes, I'm having fun. you know it's like, I do not believe that you can force your child. Please don't think that I believe that, especially in 21st century, like you can, you know you should make your child miserable and force them. But you do this work as you show with your behavior how you deal with situation, how you treat yourself, how you let significant other treat you, right? Or your husband, your wife. And your child is learning, he is observing, he is learning, or she, right? But a lot of fathers are sort of becoming very passive. They maybe somewhat little bit jealous. I remember my dad was really jealous sometimes, when when I turned 15, 16, and we would go somewhere, we would travel, I would get compliments. He was extremely annoyed with that, extremely annoyed. But now I understand why. And that's another thing that the father should teach daughter, to not just because somebody told you a compliment, it doesn't, yeah, it's pleasant, it's sweet, but a lot of compliments could be manipulation, often from the more experienced man, or a shortcut to get into your pants, oh yeah. And especially when nobody appreciates you at your home, when you're invisible, or when your parents, you don't have a good trustful relationship with your parents. So yeah, I was so like, my ego, I was so excited, because we were doing some travels, we were some places where, especially, they had some appreciation for certain things about me. And when you are young, when you are a teenager, you're trying to figure yourself out. And I was like, dad. And he was kind of okay with it, but he taught me a powerful lesson, to be very careful with people who praise you, or compliment you, because definitely some of that adoration, or how to say this, is genuine and beautiful and inspiring, but a lot of it is not. And the problem also, that women are choosing men with their emotions, because this guy is cute. See, he makes me feel good, I'm in love, she's the love of my life. Nobody is the love of her life. Have you risked your life for her? Have you stayed late nights to provide and cover for things? Make sure, like, that, I had one, somebody I knew here, a guy, he was married to a Ukrainian girl, and he didn't have that much of a salary. He didn't, he didn't have a very big salary and all, but uh, they have a limited budget. He literally stayed up, he worked nights to be able to purchase the tickets so she can go back see her family. So, guys, do not think that because you make us compliments and you admire us, we're just gonna, like, oh my gosh, let me just give myself to this guy. He likes me, so that's just awesome. Long story short, or bottom line, dads really affect daughters' self-esteem. The woman, the little girl that had a father who was a man of action, she's not gonna fall, and who was appreciating her and was affectionate, she's not gonna fall for somebody because he told her she was cute. She already knows that she's beautiful inside and out. And not to be arrogant or narcissistic, she knows she's beautiful inside and out. She can handle things, but she does want a man who, she will look for a man, and before he proves himself, she's not gonna tell him, oh, I love you, oh, you're so cute. No. Let's look in this case how cute, oh, this is sweet, I'm just gonna go with my boyfriend. And yeah, I understand that in many cases it could be okay, but I personally do not have trust for my, if I would be a mother and I would have a young child like that, young adult, I'm not letting my daughter going with some guy I barely know. Did he sign for her at the courthouse? Once again, is he proving his love, or is he using her for a content, for example? How is that he's entitled to have her? I know that it may sound old-fashioned, but guess what? It works. And the thing is, when the daughter has have a adequate self-esteem, she wouldn't even need her dad to tell her. She would take her time to observe, take her time to make her own decision, to qualify him as well. She would ask her dad and her mom for advice, but she would be qualifying him herself. And once again, I can pretty much guarantee you, if this girl would be sharing the red flags, the fights, the conflicts, it was not the first conflict with her father or mother. Sometimes girls choose mothers, but mother can always talk to the father. The situation could have been prevented. What do you guys think? Oh, oh, I'm so sorry. I just slipped away. So yeah, I'm just outraged. I'm just really hurting for their family, guys. This is a parent worst nightmare, to not know where your daughter is and know that she's someplace in a wild nature and without any means to survive. I mean, I really truly empathize, and I pray for them. But the point of us discussing this situation, I'm not a detective or an expert or anything like that, an expert of being a detective on a case or make assumptions. No, we are talking about this because I was thinking, when I was driving today, I was thinking again, what could have been done? Were there red flags? Did they really know this guy that well? Did they start fighting when they begin that trip? Because 4 months is a very long time, as I'm learning, it was long. So I do not believe that somebody could have this, sociopathic or I don't know, psychopathic behavior. And there was absolutely not a single telling sign, once again, or red flag. And secondly, I think that girls should, especially young girls, and should consider that, yeah, we are, like, when you're young, you are creative, you are fresh, you are adventurous, but you also have your parents that have something very precious that you cannot get at 22, and that called life experience from your parents. And with fathers particularly, is making sure that that guys that takes your daughter out earned your respect first, and then earned your daughter, proved himself. Once again, when everything is 50-50, everything is free, again, you don't have to go to work. That's why words of love do not mean much for us, for traditional women, unless you're doing something, unless you put your life on the line. You realize that you fully taking care of us, even if we have our own money, but you going out there, you taking care of things, you invest in us, not in your words and emotions. That is completely separate. If your words and emotions are not following up with support, with financial investment, with your effort, with your presence, those are just words. They really don't mean anything if we're talking about long-term committed relationships. So what I'm trying to say, and what I'm trying to make my point, is that this guy had no business taking her and wasting her time, or putting her in danger, by Just, just taking, I mean, like literally taking no, um you can, it's impossible. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit lost for words here because I'm really, wound up about this. So that he, whatever happened there, he took no responsibility, no accountability, no human response to report what happened, at least his version, something that people can at least find her. That just tells you that this man wasn't responsible, accountable, reliable, or supportive. So she had no business with going with him. With like I said, toddler is watching another toddler. He needs to grow up first. And he was, what's amazing is they were in her car. So he comes back in her car and think, by his silence, everybody will think that, oh, things are fine. Anyway, yes, what I'm sharing this, I know a lot of you are fathers, and I want to say, fathers, step up. If you have young daughters especially, you have to create the trust and be a leader, provider, protector for your daughter before she finds, or the man finds her, and he can take on big part of that role. Don't also be shy to tell her how men are. A lot of bad things did not happen in my life because my dad gave me a main idea about man's nature. He gave me an idea about man's nature. It wasn't negative, but he was a man and he knew a thing or two. So he told me some things about man's nature, and it really helped me. And I would always advise with him. I was always advising with him. He was actually the only person who knew about my relationships, about my ups and downs. With my goals, not so much, because I don't want somebody to have vulnerable information or sensitive information. So yeah, my dad, till the day he passed away, he was really, he knew, I was comfortable to share, but I also wanted to hear his insight, and never he was wrong once. So fathers, this is, everybody is empowering women. I'm empowering fathers, step up. Whether your daughters are very young, children, toddlers, whether they're middle school, high school, whether they are young adult, whether they are mature adult, remember that you're there for a reason, to protect, to give them tools, and to guide and lead and support. When you do it early, in their early years, you do it before. This is how they do it in Middle East. You don't just come to the girls that you want. It's like, hey, I want you, so let's go. Nope. You have to work hard. You have to prove yourself financially, and the entire family is going to be checking everything about you till you will be approved to be a candidate. So interesting, isn't it? Yes, fathers, step up. And let me read some of your comments. Bill, thanks so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the show. That's very nice of you. Especially, I mean, I wish I could be laughing more and being more playful, but this really hurts. I don't know why. I could just feel her. I could just feel her energy, like her innocence, her just excitement about life, about creating this, channel and all of that. That's another thing with the social media. Fathers should, you see, the women who had good fathers and mothers too, they do not look for validation online. Yes, they may have online profiles, but they would not get themselves in trouble or put some promiscuous pictures because they're not looking for validation. They don't need 500 guys to say, oh, you're gorgeous. And if they do, she says thank you. That's not, she appreciates it and she moves on. When the woman is start for attention, this is when she gets carried away with compliments. Best compliments is when you take care of your woman. That's compliment, not using her car and her cuteness to make money on her. That's, I may be wrong in this case, in this particular case, but I'm just generalizing, guys. So if you want your message being for me to read, you have to highlight it with a super chat, because I'm trying to hold the conversation and messages are coming in. I choose messages randomly. I can't read them all. So if you're so eager for me to read your message, you may have to send a super chat, because that's the only way you can highlight it. And you cannot demand me to do that either. Yeah, that's how I feel too. This guy is sick. He was victimizing and using Gabby the entire time. When I saw her breakdown on that camera, that was not just like I'm in a bad mood or I am on particular days of the month. She was breaking down. She was on the verge of insanity in that moment. And again, the loving guy would not be distant and playing cool. He would be empathetic. He would say, I'm so sorry I said that. Please forgive me. He would hug her and try to, just apologize no matter what, and would try to do everything to calm her down. Try to do everything. Doesn't matter who is right or who is wrong. When you see that somebody is about to pass out from this agony, you would do everything to calm them down. You're not becoming and acting distant. I was not able to watch that so much in detail. I don't know your name, but I have not seen his. I saw some of distancing and arrogance from him, like, but I'll have to watch that again because it's really interesting. Yeah, he was very distant, like everything is cool. I'm surprised that police did not take a better look, but I guess they separated them. Phew. Yeah, based on this guy's psychological profile he displayed, she's not alive. Oh yeah, I know, guys. The chances of them, ever finding her are slim to none. You always want to hope, but you also understand. You understand that this is... So, again, we're not making video to make gossip, to judge people. We're making video to empathize, to kind of learn about this and think, what could we do as people, as members of society, us, women, as sisters, as mothers. How do we make our children know their value? You see, when your child knows how healthy relationship looks like, they will never settle for abuse. Do you understand? When you don't know how healthy relationship looks like, you get into all kinds of situations. But when you are loved in a healthy way by your mom, by your dad, by your family, by your friends, So when somebody when somebody trying to strip your gold, or I call it, like, mess with your magic or strip your gold, basically put you down, manipulate you, hurt you, you're not gonna, it's gonna feel bad, and you will want to cut all ties with that person that puts you down, hurts you, manipulates you, or, as I said, strips your gold, or jealous, doing some awkward observations and criticizing you. You're gonna do something. You're not gonna let that happen. It's gonna feel foreign to you. You know, that's why it's so important to have healthy relationships. Healthy relationships have conflicts. Healthy relationships have um, disappointments, have disagreements, but there is always empathy. You know, did you have times when you were disagreeing with somebody and you are in tears and you see like, you know, you having issues with your toddler is going wild, and you know they did wrong, but you see they are like frantic. You're gonna grab them and kiss them and calm them down. And if it's not a toddler, if it's a high schooler, they having something going on, um and they did wrong, you should not state to other people that your child did right. If it's a teenager, right, you do not state to other people, oh, my child did the right thing. No, you still love your child, but you give them a clear idea that they are wrong and they should go and admit their fault and be held accountable. Just because we are parents doesn't mean we encourage bad behavior. But when somebody is emotionally breaking down, as a parent or loving husband or wife, you just come, you just hug them, and it doesn't matter. How does it make you happy to be right when, you know, your wife is standing there and she's about to collapse from pain? It doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. Healthy love, healthy relationship is very compassionate and empathetic. That what makes us different from the, you know, the animal world, even though a lot of animals have empathy as well, you know. So let me read some comments. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see who that. Lance, thank you so much, I appreciate that. Thank you for contributing and supporting the show. Dads also need to raise their sons to be respectful and honoring of a lady. Apparently this guy's dad did neither. Well, both of his parents are heartless people, and I'm saying this with conviction because, as I said, you still love your child, but if your child broke the law or made somebody else suffer, you absolutely have to stand with the truth, because you make it worse for your child for doing this. I'm not saying you stop loving them, but you hold them accountable, and you do this not when they're 23. You do it when they're 5, 6, 7, and so on. You know, I would never, you know, like, parents actually set up their children and their boys for a very bad future, you know, when they're trying to cover them up. You know, they're becoming alcoholics and gamblers and addicted to drugs and all kinds of stuff. Like, oh, he's like, he just playing a little bit. Yeah, he playing for only half an hour. Yeah, he only used his devices for half an hour to do his schoolwork. Well, I do let him play 6 hours of Fortnite, but you know, it's like people are lying all the time and pretending. They call enabling love. Well, love is anything but enabling. Love is a crystal clear view. Yes, you see the person you love in a highlight. You know, the person you love is always highlighted. It's always, they are special, they are beautiful to you. You see them with their with the projection of their higher potential. You know, you want to see them striving, right? You want to see them achieving, so you always have this uplifted look. You know, you want to see them in best life, in the best light. But when they do wrong, you let them know they do wrong. Because if you don't let them know, you're going to set them up for life. You're going to set them up for life of disappointment and wrong directions. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much for supporting the show once again. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Veronica, I really appreciate your passion for this topic of properly raising children. Yes. The way to proper raise children is to proper raise yourself. Your actions, the way you treat others, the way you treat your children, the way you interact, with people, the standards you set up. That's pretty much it. So a lot of parents should take a second look at their standards, of their habits, of their lies, of their avoidance, and that way become a better parent. That's how you become a better parent. You can't become a good parent that is, drinking and smoking and being emotionally abusive and verbally abusive to your child, and have your child accountable when you are not none of those things. I really think children do not need as many conversations, like, of you need to do this. You really raise yourself. You really educate yourself, and this is how your children know. Of course, like, I loved to have conversations with my dad. Um, that's something that I'll never forget. We didn't do small talk. I don't think my dad knew what small talk even was. We would dive deep. And I wish this to every, father and a daughter. There is something, you see, guys, women, our moms teach us some things that you can never teach us. And being near wise female is woman in your life for a daughter is very important. But with dads, dad is our first love. You understand? Dad is our first magician, like our first protector, our first it's really our first love. I mean, there is nothing sweeter. And from that, we are learning how to interact with men, how to be treated by men, what to accept, what not to accept. So I can't stress it enough what a huge role dads are playing in that particular aspect of it. But anyway, thank you so much again. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for contributing so generously to the show. I really do appreciate it. And once or twice a week we can talk about some things that's going. I'm gonna give my Ukrainian perspective on what's I don't know, maybe I could find a different title, but basically on certain things that taking place in the world, or we can talk about those things sometimes. Not again to create more controversy, to judge somebody, but just to talk about it, because sometimes, those things are happening. We can learn many teachable moments in those things. My thing is, how do we prevent this? I literally feeling for that mother and father and your step. I mean, it's like, when your heart is hurting, you don't know where is your child. It's like you're in a burning hell. It's like, imagine excruciating pain and it does not stop. Like, I don't know how they making through a minute, through another hour, you know. Thank you so much for posting my information. Yes, guys, you can, if you want to support, if you enjoy the channel. I see a lot of new people today, so welcome. If you are new, please subscribe. If you enjoy my spontaneous live stream, I would truly appreciate if you subscribe and maybe consider becoming a member of the channel. You can see the join button if you use desktop or laptop. You can see join button next to subscribe button, and some of my long live stream I will only post in members area, and also on Patreon. On my Patreon account, if you could share my Patreon account, that'd be great. So for some, maybe videos that I feel that it would be better to have them in a private space, but I can also record some videos for you to answer your questions if you are a member, or if you are supporting me either here on YouTube through membership or on a Patreon. This is not a requirement, of course. You can still watch all the public available content, but I truly do appreciate when you do that. It just encourages me and lets me know that you are enjoying the content, which is really important. But you can also do it at no cost, with your comments, with your shares, with your thumbs up, with your subscriptions. So it's absolutely up to you. I'm just very, very pleased to see a lot of new names today on the chat. And thank you for. I will read every comment once, so it will be available tomorrow because I know I missed tons of comments and I know that they were valuable and insightful. So I will make sure to leave every comment. But if you want me to respond to your question, if you were commenting in the video a lot, and you want me to respond you once the live show is over, put your question, your comment under the video in a constant section, permanent comments under the video once it's over, and I will respond. I'll make sure to respond every comment under the video. If I didn't read your comment or I didn't read your insight or question. Yeah, probably, yes. Yes, this is, thank you. It is a great community. Yes, thank you. I suspect he has been abusing her psychologically, and yeah, he probably was going her, driving her crazy psychologically. She may have lashed out. She may even have hit him, and he probably responded. I mean, it was unhealthy and it was terrible. So, absolutely. People do not just go into tears like that, into that shaking, breaking down point because somebody said hello, you know? Thank you, Lance. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for saying kind words. Yes, Matt, I understand you. I agree. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Yes, I had a great dad, and he's always with me. It's been a tough ride. I talk with him every day in my on my mind. It's still fairly fresh, very fresh to me. Um, so yes, I appreciate the wisdom he shared with me because no matter what my ideas are, he had something called experience, and he willingly shared things with me. This guy has major familiarity with a guy from Colorado. Yeah, I haven't, I didn't, I usually do not watch cases and murders and stuff. I am too sensitive. I'm gonna be like, I will end up in the mental facility because I can feel it so much in my heart, as I'm sure some of you guys can relate. Like, I do very little of that. Yes, Brandon. Yes, there were marks and scratches and God knows what else. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, guys. Yeah. Yep. It definitely was conflict and probably got violent and physical for sure. But um and that's another thing, we should teach us, our children, ourselves, these manners, that we don't get physical with people. Says the woman that sometimes, can spank somebody, but it's never like, I don't even like light spanking sometimes, because to a child, if you have a toddler and you're spanking him, even you think it's lightly, it may not be lightly for a child. I think we have to do our best to say things with words as civilized human. Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about any more details about the case because they have they have things coming up, and it's much better to watch a couple of short clips. They're very short to actually see it rather than me trying to retell that. Thank you, welfare leech. He says great advice. Thank you. I like your sense of humor. With your nickname. Yes, if he was the victim, he would have been on the phone with the police before quietly returning to Florida. And let's be real, even though he's young and skinny, boys generally are much stronger than girls, naturally. But again, we don't know, and hopefully we'll at least know the truth. Hopefully we can all learn from it. Yes, Lance, I agree. It is irrelevant. Yeah, some people say, oh, they made the show, to show off on YouTube, but I don't think so. That's going way too far. I don't think so. I think it's much more serious than that. But anyway, Yelena, thank you for contributing your thoughts and sharing. Yeah, whose money is ever traveling on? That's a good question too. The guy was definitely a predator, and he was something definitely wrong with him. Like, absolutely, you know, a normal person could have never, ever, ever done something like that. Like, listen, we all can be in the heat of a moment. We all can do things that we are embarrassed. You and I, probably we all have things we are embarrassed for. I definitely have things and conflicts and arguments that if they would be recorded and showed to you, I would be like, oh no. But this is how you learn and you evolve, and you still remain a human, and you're supposed to, we again, the difference between those psychopaths and normal people is we have empathy. you know all of us sometimes losing our cool, and this is a problem with social media. The problem with social media is that everybody's trying to show something. Everybody showing up with a mask to be liked. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Terry. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for this outrageously generous donation. Thank you. Positive vibes from negative moments. Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you for supporting the show with no limits. No some somebody may think, oh, it's unreasonable, or it's too, too wild, but I see generosity and kindness behind that. Thank you so much. I don't actually know if you had a chance to watch the episodes I'm talking about. You can check it out on Fox. It's called Gabby Petito's yeah, case of disappearance of Gabby Petito. She's and she was they were supposedly hiking. So I think you probably know a lot of stories, but this story in particular just kind of just got into my heart, like just went in there all the way. And I'm just praying for everybody who loved her, and who loves her, and for her, of course. So thank you so much for your extreme generosity. I do not say amounts of my super chat out loud. I just think it's not I think that it doesn't have to be, a lot of creators usually, I mean, I think doing it either way is fine, but I just want to say that I truly appreciate your support on the show, and the idea of positive vibes and encouragement in literally dark times here in the car, and was very disturbing news. So I hope you will have a chance to watch. They're very short clips. Again, Gabby Petito. I was watching Fox and few others, and yes. I don't know. It doesn't matter they're descending on that guy. You're not gonna attach it to background or culture or nationality. It doesn't matter. It can happen anywhere. But regardless, thank you guys so much for all of you as well who had contributed thoughts, who put a thumbs up, who commented, sent a super chat, or did anything else positive. Maybe share the video, join the discussion, maybe just listen quietly, but still, were present. Thank you so very much for doing that. And I mean, I am fully receiving it, and I'm fully appreciating. And of course, uh, special thank you to my extreme donators. and consistent ones. Thank you so much. And also thank you to the person who came up with an idea of maybe once or twice a week, sharing perspectives on what's going on, to learn something from them. Either it's something positive or some things that we should try to avoid. And there is hidden lesson, or how to say this, there is a lesson in everything. There is a blessing in disguise, in disguise, right? It's just, I'm reading it in a Russian way. There is blessing in disguise. There is message somewhere. There is teachable moment. I do not like when teachable moments or lessons come when you have to pay such a high price. But this is for all of us to learn. I hope that you, my dear friends, enjoy this video. I truly appreciate you. I wasn't thank you again. Also, thank you for reaching out and asking. I have things going on like everybody else. I'm working with people behind the scenes, and so I may not be able to come live as often, but I'm still here. And I think we can have those longer lives, especially if it's only maybe once or twice a week, for sure. But again, if you have ideas, if you have question, comments, requests, put them in the comments below, send them to my email, so I can see your thoughts, your insights, and we can go from there. I would like to have topics on this channel that are relevant and people want to discuss. And people who are new, thank you so much for joining, participating in discussion. Again, I would appreciate if you enjoy the content, if you would subscribe. That would be an incredible encouragement. That could be a whole another video. Somebody's asking, what are your opinions on cam girls? I'm not gonna talk about this right now, but may make a video someday. Yeah. Oof, not sure, guys. I have not been home all day, so not sure. Yes. Yeah, I hope she's found alive, but again, looking at his psychobiological profile, it's not looking good. I have to agree. Yeah. Yeah, it was very unnatural when they were caught on camera. He was kind of passive and feminine. I agree. Yes. Not so much. There was something off about it. That's why cops offered them to go and sleep in different rooms for the night. They've smelled something, but they didn't realize to what degree. Yeah. Yes. So, my dear friends, thank you so very much. I don't want to take all of your Saturday evening. This was my first opportunity to come out and have a little bit more time to share with you. Thank you. I'm working behind the scenes, I'm strategizing, and I'm also having um some things going on, and I will share with you once I have some updates and something inspiring. I would so much rather share inspiring things, but you can't really appreciate inspiring things when it's only, you can't really appreciate the sweetness of something is all you eat is sweet. Sometimes, life has those dark moments, tragic moments, painful moments, and that we learn something, and then we appreciate the joy and peace and safety more. Just before you go to bed tonight, just think about people you love and how blessed you are, that you know where they are, they are safe, they're doing well. Just pray for those close people for you, and just realize how blessed we are to just live in peace, to be, to not have to endure abuse and pain, whether it's verbal or physical. Seriously, we take a lot for granted. We don't think about this, but it's a huge happiness when the people you love and people you know are healthy, alive, uh safe. I mean, it's a good day. We get upset about such crazy things. We get upset about things that's not worth it. And it's a huge happiness when people you love are safe and alive and doing well. It's another reminder for all those mothers and fathers, out there who knows their kids are fine. You don't always know where your kids are, but there are no bad news. They are doing well. They are, um everything is going well. Everything is unfolding just right. Just pray and pray for those who are, who are in a situation that is like the one we talked today. Just pray for them. Just have a little bit of empathy. I actually think that this Gabby's family getting so much love and support, I really think it helps her stepfather, which seemed to be the real father who cares about her deeply. He said that so many people came, they have people in the house every day. They get calls, they get support from community, from friends, from family, that they had tremendous support, which is like gold. So let's have a moment of just empathy and support and positive thoughts. I wish that we could do something. This is a situation where you want to do something, but you can't always do it. Yes, that's a very good point. That is my question too. What business does this guy have driving her van without her? Yes, and that is why I think family, her dad, her stepdad should have walked into his house or break the door because he was in her van driving back without her. I agree. This is a major BS. That's a major mess. That's her car, that's her property. He comes back without her driving that and just, like nothing ever happened. Exactly. That's a huge red flag. And then literally opens the door for them to literally take the door off the hooks and come in and held him responsible. I agree with that. Don't want to live on that point, but I agree with it completely. Yeah, right. I had not listened and seen everything. So, guys, we gotta make our own research. I'm sure new things will come and so on and so forth. Good night, Elizabeth, my dear friend. Oh, sweet. Thank you so much for the cute video. Thank you. Thank you. I'll check it out. I have my little 2-year-old, a little fan, a little sweet, sweet girl. I'll check out your sweet message. Thank you. So, yes, my dear friends, I want to finish on a positive. Think about all the blessings you have. And yes, it's okay to trust people. It's okay to make friends. It's okay to be spontaneous, but you should always be aware. And if you have weird feeling, if you're doing something but you do not really want to do it, trust it. Don't try to people please. Don't try to be nice. Don't try to be accommodating. When something gives you a weird vibe, don't go against it. Don't leave your kids with some weird babysitter you don't trust just because you're desperate. If ladies are watching me, if you're desperate to have a night with a girl or have a date with your husband and you haven't been on a date for 2 months or 3 months and you found a babysitter that you don't they look fine, but something, especially women, our intuition is beyond what anybody can imagine. Do not, if somebody, I had so many situations in my life when I would meet somebody and they would act so nice, and I want to tell you something. There is no perfect people that are always nice. um there are only perfect masks, and those people who are always nice, they just do not let you to get to know them. They are standing on their toes to win you, to get you on their side, to get your trust. But what they do not understand, what they do not get, is that by holding you at a distance and being polite and friendly, you can never get close and build connection. A lot of people are hiding things that are nasty and disgusting about their personalities by being extremely nice. The real person is never always extremely nice. Okay? I'm speaking with authority. The person that is authentic, that is not afraid to show up the way they are, you sometimes can see their ugly sides. You can see you can hear things you don't want to hear. You can have conflicts because it's real. People who do not have conflicts, they either lying about it or they do not care for each other. Because conflict is a natural result of growth, because you grow. They even say conflict of interest, right? You grow. Okay, this short is small for you now, you need to have a bigger one. So this style of communication is no longer, because you have been growing. You grown, your interests are changing, and you are dealing with other people. They grow and they may be growing in a different direction, and so to evolve and negotiate, you're going to have conflicts, right? So yes, do not believe somebody who is sweet, especially somebody who is sweet on people all the time, but behind the closed door is tyranny. And do not ignore, I think one of the major lesson from here is we should not be ignoring red flags and giving benefit of doubt and second chances. I'm gonna make another video about benefit of doubt and second chances. When you give somebody benefit of doubt, you really shoot yourself in the foot, because the person already gave you a sign, you decide to ignore it. Now when you try to separate from them the second time when they hurt you, they're gonna turn the blame on you. It's gonna be your fault. You're gonna be the nasty person, and you are the one who will lose, because they will hurt you twice as much or more. And it's kind of like you took one poison pill, it didn't kill you, so you're like, I wonder what will happen if I take the second pill. Let's see. Ooh, this hurts. So yeah, once again, if we could have a closer look at if there was a way to really dive in into their relationship, there probably would be tons of red flags and abuse and manipulation and ignorance and lack of empathy and all of that, because people don't just do these things out of the blue like that. There is always leading signs. But yeah, again, make your own research, share your thoughts under the videos, there may be something new. But yes, let's not to ignore. And sometimes, guys, you don't always need a proof. That's what will be my last point, and we're gonna go and take a break. I just finally have some time this evening to do the live show, but I do have to go soon. So of course I forgot my point now. Great, Veronica. Oh yes, you don't need to have proof for, if you want to break a relationship with somebody, or you want to take your time, or you want to reflect, you don't need the other person permission to do so. If something is not right, you don't have to come with the reasons. Okay, you know what, we are separating because I don't like how you dress on Mondays. I don't like the sounds you make when you eat. I don't like that you forgot about my birthday. I don't like how you walk. You don't have to have reasons sometimes to go your separate way. Sometimes very often our instinct, they know, the person say one thing, but their entire existence gives a different message. We shrink around them, we don't feel well around them, something is off. So you don't need to justify or to excuse yourself from a situation. When you don't feel, somebody invites you over for 5 nights, you don't quite feel comfortable to stay in their house. You just, you know them, but you don't, it's okay to say no. Somebody make you, offers you to, do some things together for long periods of time, but you don't know them that well, or maybe they offer you a project you don't feel comfortable participating, whatever that might be. You don't need to always explain a reason and apologize. You don't need to do all that. You can just say, you know what, it doesn't feel right to me at the moment. I don't feel comfortable. I always thought before that you need to justify if you want to break up the friendship or separate from something to preserve your space, your peace, your sanity. You need to justify. Yes, you can say a reason, the major one, but you don't always have to. Sometimes there is no reason that you know of. You will learn about the reason later, but there are major telling signs, and your entire body is reacting to this. You have anxiety, you feel uncomfortable, you feel stressed out, you can't fall asleep. um yeah, your body is reacting to it and giving you signals that I'm uncomfortable, we have to move on from this situation. So yes, we have to be able to look out for ourselves, for our loved ones. And that's another reminder, with our empathy, it was our deepest empathy of all of us in this video, and I'm praying for their family, and I know you do too. Thank you so very much for this unexpected, almost 2 hour long live. I truly appreciate everything, all your contributions, kind words, thoughts, encouragements. Thank you so, so very much. And I hope you have a peaceful night, and I hope you will think of how blessed you are and appreciate it, especially this evening. Thank you.